This is the mock speaking test for the International English Language Testing System conducted on September 30th, year 2024. The candidate is Keika Usmoridi and the examiner is Amin Muhammad Etesam. Good afternoon. My name is Amin Muhammad Etesam. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Keika Usmoridi, but everybody calls me Kay.
All right, Kay. In this first part, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
I'm actually a student. I'm in my third year of a psychology degree program, and I'm doing the degree in Budapest, Hungary.
And what do you enjoy about your studies?
Oh, there's a lot to enjoy, and there's like a lot to simply cherish and marvel at. You learn a lot about the human behavior, mental processes, and then like why we do what we do, and then the reasons behind different kinds of behavior, and then you learn a lot about people, and I think that's simply fascinating. I've never been bored with it, not even once.
Mhm. And how many hours do you spend studying every week?
Well, to be honest, I don't spend much time studying, especially when it's not the exam season. I would say maybe 3 or 4 hours, but I make sure that I attend the lectures so that I can understand everything. But I don't study much. I'm too disorganized to do that, to be honest.
Okay, now let's talk about cooking and eating. How often do you cook?
I live in a dormitory, and I have to cook pretty much every day, unless I do some meal prep, and that means like I cook for 2 or maybe 3 days, but no more than that because the food's going to go bad and it's not going to taste good really. So I'm usually cook at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I prefer to do it early in the morning because the kitchen is not crowded, because it's one of the more communal and used spaces here. So I make sure I'm there before everybody else, and I can do what I want to do, and I can clean up my mess when I'm done.
And do you prefer to eat home-cooked food or food in restaurants?
Honestly, it depends on my mood and on the occasion. If I'm celebrating something very important, or if I'm like celebrating something with friends, I'd rather eat out. But on a day-to-day basis, I'm a big fan of eating home-cooked meals because I think it's healthier to do so, and generally speaking, they do taste better.
And when did you last enjoy eating a special meal at home?
It was actually a couple of months ago. My parents and my brother were visiting me here in Budapest, and I wasn't back then at that time living in the dormitory, so I had my own apartment, and um, we prepared something together, something traditional, some traditional Iranian dish together, and then what made it really enjoyable was the fact that we all contributed to it. So like we all took part, and then we communicated, we exchanged stories, and then we caught up, and then we sat down and then had the meal, and it was an extremely enjoyable moment to share with everybody else.
All right. Now I'm going to give you a topic and I would like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can also make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
I am sharing my screen with you. Do you see the topic?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would like you to describe a time when you felt proud of a friend's success. All right, now remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I will tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Sure. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the success story of a friend. Her name's Kimia, and we got to know each other through another friend. And back then, when we first met, she was preparing to take part in the IELTS test. And from what she told me, she had been preparing for it for quite some time, and she was at least in those days extremely nervous and stressed. She was actually so stressed out that she had kind of given up on studying for the test, and she wasn't really going to take part in the test. But um, like after a few days, she decided against that, and then she actually sat the test, and she got a really good band score. I think, if my memory serves me right, I think she got an overall band score of 7 or 7.5. And this was like an extremely important thing for her to do because she really needed it, because she had been planning to study abroad in Canada, and in Iran she was a dentist, but she wanted to do more, and then she wanted to travel abroad and then pursue a similar career, but in a different country. And to be able to do that, she had to show them that she was able to communicate effectively, and then she had to prove her proficiency. Therefore, she was trying to take the test, and it was really important that she got a good grade, that she would get a good grade. And the reason I felt really proud of her was because she had to overcome a lot of different obstacles. She was back then working full time, so that meant that she couldn't really dedicate much time to studying. And then,
All right.
yeah, sure.
And did you tell anyone else about your friend's success?
Just a couple of friends, our mutual friend, and of course my brother, because we celebrated that achievement, and there was a group of us, so it was so exciting and so interesting.
All right, we've been talking about a time when you felt proud of a friend's success, and now I'm going to ask you 1 or 2 more general questions related to this. Let's talk about being successful at school in general. Um, what are the different ways a student can be successful at school?
I would say there are different ways. Traditionally speaking, at least where I come from, Iran, everyone places a great emphasis on your academic achievement, your grades, and how well you do on tests and exams. So one is only considered successful if he or she manages to ace every single test. So of course that's only one area in which you can measure one's success. Personally, I think one can be successful if they manage to form great friendships, and if they manage to learn skills that will later help them do better in life. For example, management skills or time management skills, interpersonal skills, because all of these will come together with what you learn at school, and then later maybe at university or college, and they will ensure that you become a well-respected and a more successful person, especially career-wise.
And do you think it is easier nowadays to be successful at school than in the past?
I wouldn't say so. Nowadays, everyone's on social media, and something that's extremely prevalent and something that you see all the time is people boasting about their own personal achievements and what they've achieved and what they've acquired, what they've managed to do on social media. And everything you hear or see is not generally honest. It's not always honest. So people exaggerate these achievements. They sometimes like just lie about these achievements, and the psychological strain that this puts on people is taxing and exhausting, and the stress it creates means that people are not always able to perform their best. So I think that's one thing that stops people from achieving success, or let's say what they perceive to be success. And the other thing is that even if they are successful in their own right, the comparisons that are always made make it so that these achievements don't seem or feel as spectacular or as fulfilling and rewarding as they would have otherwise been.
All right, now let's talk about success at work. How do you think people can become successful at work?
Hmm. I think that's a very interesting question because you can look at this particular question and topic um, like from different perspectives and through different, let's say, angles. One can be successful if he or she is able to earn enough money, and but to be able to become successful, one should invest in some necessary skills. So I think one way to make sure that you become successful is to take courses, to learn new skills relevant to your job, and to give it 110%. So you shouldn't just do what everybody else is doing. You have to go beyond that, and then you have to do what others are not willing to do, and that helps you pull ahead, and that could also help you succeed where others might fail.
And do you think money is the main thing which motivates people to achieve success at work?
To some degree, but past a certain point, I don't think money is the number one drive or is the most important thing for people. I think after a certain point, once one is able to put together a rather comfortable life, other factors come into play. For example, I think having good coworkers is very important, or being able to work flexible hours, or being able to create a healthy work-life balance. All of these things can really contribute to this, but money is extremely important. But then again, to a certain degree, past that, I don't think money is as important as other factors. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test.